Well, welcome to another episode of Catching Up with the Crawfords in conjunction with Fame Ministries and Media Productions. We're excited today to have with us our special guest from the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Jeff Cassidy. Today's video is being underwritten and sponsored by the Crawford Property Group. We're licensed in Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, and California, and our motto is we're selling homes from Dollywood to Hollywood. So if you're in the market for real estate, give us a call today at 423-833-5557. And now to our special guest, Sheriff Jeff Cassidy. Today I'm so excited to have Sheriff Jeff Cassidy here with us. Jeff, thank you so much for taking time to spend time with us here today.
Thanks for having me, Boone. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Yes, sir. It's always a pleasure to see you, and I'm so thankful that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to be with us. And just want to say that, you know, it's been said about you that you are humble, yet you're professional. You are an honored dad, a father, a husband. All good things can be said about you. Nothing's ever been said about you, right?
Well, I'm sure there's some bad things, but you know how that is with anybody, Booney. But yeah, I just I treat everybody fair, and I tell you, this job, what makes this job so hard is that I care so much. You know, so that's extremely care about the county, I care about the employees, and that's what makes this job difficult sometimes. You know.
Well, it's obvious, and you can tell that you do care a lot about it. And you know, I know that your particular office has received a lot of awards and acknowledgments, and it's all dedicated to you and how much you do care about your job, and then for you too. I mean, you've been receiving a lot of accolades and rewards lately as well, right?
Yeah, but I always attribute that to the success for my employees. Those men and women, they really keep the wheels a churning here. I sort of set the lead, like you say, but I sure do give them all the glory. That's for sure.
Well, I'm so thankful that you know that the Lord put someone like you in that position, because we definitely need that, especially in today's times and the things that we're going through. Can you talk a little bit about? I know you're a sports guy, and how did sports maybe influence how you handle your career, and how did you end up wanting to go into being a sheriff or a law enforcement officer in general?
Yeah, Booney, sports played a lot of roles in my entire life, especially knowing, my dad coached high school football coach. He was a 5-star athlete at ETSU, and just watching him coach, mentor these young men. And even today, I talk to people that know Dad that just, I mean, pretty much attest everything that they've ever accomplished in life to him. And I think as a leader, that's what's really important, Booney. I think we should be in position to set people up for success. And watching people succeed and flourish is just my main goal and desire. But yeah, football just, it sets that example. You've got that structure, you've got that companionship, teamship, membership, and all those things align together in getting into a job that requires uniformity, general orders, policies, procedures, integrity, honesty, all those attributes that make a good law enforcement officer. So that really good structure and good sound that really does come hand in hand with sports, coaching, mentoring, and then going into law enforcement. But I wanted to be in law enforcement since I was 14. It's kind of funny. I have nobody in my family that's ever been in law enforcement. Mom and Dad would always ask me, "What in the world do you want to do that for?" But I just like the way these individuals perform their duties, the way they looked in their uniform, and I love talking to people. So I thought, that's going to make probably a good deputy. Just communications, 99% of the job, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know you're doing a great job at it, and again, we're so thankful that you are in the position you're in. And the Bible says that we are His workmanship, and we were created for good works. And you're definitely doing the good works that He created you for. And
Thanks, and I give all the glory to God. He's the provider, and He's the one that keeps me driven, motivated, keeps my focus 100% on the job task at hand, and He never puts enough on my shoulders that I can't bear.
right. And you mentioned your dad a while ago, and your dad has been an influence on my life, and even as my wife as well. And so I know we go way back with your dad, and very appreciative of him, and I appreciate you bringing him up and mentioning him. But you've talked a lot. I've heard you share this before, and this part is what we want to do with Fame Ministries, and we want to hear people's story of faith as it relates to them and the career that they're in. So would you just share just a little bit about how important faith is for you, and how it influences your day-to-day job, and how you handle that in your situations?
Yeah, I mean that is 100%. You have to have faith in God. The things that we deal with on a day to day basis is the worst of humanity. We deal with that, and God gives us that protection, that hedge of protection. He also gives us the strength and courage to do what we do. But it's just extreme important thing. When I do a supervisor promotional interviews with my colleagues, I ask them one question. I say, "What's one thing that you aren't doing now in your life that if you did it on a regular basis, it would bring a positive impact in your life?" And you wouldn't believe the law enforcement officers that tell me, I need to go to church more, I need to read the Bible more. And I can't agree more with them, and I try to be that disciple, and do Bible studies with them, and see if they go to church with me. But I know it's extremely hard. When I was on patrol, I'll tell you, Booney, I worked every Sunday, and I worked Sunday church security, so it is difficult. But we've got to make time for the Lord. He's done so much for us. He's I mean, that's the least we can do for Lord. Just give him that time, love him, seek his face.
Yeah. Well, that means a lot, coming from a leader like you that has the type of influence you have, and very appreciative of the fact that you instill that in not only for yourself and your family, but for those that you work with as well. But you talked about the things that you have to deal with on a daily basis, and I know it's got to be tough, and I'm so grateful for the men and women who serve in positions like you and those around you. I couldn't imagine. I've had family members who have served in law enforcement. I've got a cousin right now who serves over in the city of Kingsport in the police department over there, and I just can't imagine what you guys have to deal with and how you deal with it on a daily basis, but then how do you separate it from having to take it home with you? That's
Right.
got to be a struggle.
Yeah, it is. And, I've told everybody, when law enforcement's called, it's this individual's worst day of their life. Although it may be our 10th burglary that we've answered that day, or 10th vandalism, just show these people, show empathy, and show them that you care, and that you're going to do all you can do to maybe catch the perpetrator, or give them some sort of relief that where they're living and where they reside, they're going to be safe, and if they need anything, they can never hesitate to contact us. But like I say, that's what makes it hard. Sometimes, like I say, it could be just a simple call, but it's the worst day of some of these people's lives. It could be making a death notification for a loved one, and it's really trying. It can bear a lot of weight on you.
Right. And for your wife and your family, it's the stress that they have to go through, wondering, about you each day as you go out to do your job. And, our prayers are with you. And again, we're so thankful. And, last night, or the last few days, we've been watching the news about the attacks on police officers like in New York. And then these guys are just being set free, it's,
Yeah.
you guys really have to put up with a lot. But speaking on that line, do you Do you see those kinds of things here or coming into this area due to what's happening at the border and certain similar situations that they're experiencing in the bigger cities?
With the porous border, we are, seeing a tremendous amount of fentanyl, heroin, leaking into all cities and counties. It's not just East Tennessee and New York and some of your bigger cities. It's affecting the entire country, and you're always going to have those issues when you allow criminals to cross into our borders and terrorists. So that's what's scary about that. But yeah, but with that being said, Booney, your first question you was asked, are you seeing the hardships and scrutiny and criticism towards law enforcement where we live? No, I'm not. I'll tell you what, we live in a great area. I tell everybody, if I was ever going to be a sheriff, a chief, a law enforcement officer, East Tennessee is where I'd want to come, because these individuals pray for us, encourage us daily. They talk about us, they thank us. It's shown with what they provide us, how they support us, and sometimes I can't even sit down and pay for my own lunch. I mean, somebody's already gotten it and gotten up and left, and I don't even know it.
Yeah. So, Jeff, I mentioned earlier that your office has received a lot of accolades and awards for their superior service and things like that, and you also are receiving, notification about your service as well. But I just heard recently that you were elected to a special office for the state. Is that right?
Yeah, Booney, I was very humbled and honored. There's 95 counties, 95 sheriffs across the state of Tennessee, but we're all members of the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, where we do our training. It's just a great network. I'll tell you, these men and women across the state, they're just provide so much support. Anytime I have a question about anything, I send an email and I've got a response within minutes. But we had a summer conference last July, and they made a motion to elect me as president-elect, and seconded and then closed that nomination just as quick as they opened it. And I was just shocked. And so next July, I'll be assuming the role of president of the entire Tennessee Sheriff's Association. So
Congratulations.
extremely honored.
Congratulations on that. That's got to be a high honor for you.
Thanks, Booney.
I guess some of the most moving things that I ever see, and I notice that you post these things too to your social media accounts, that when you have to go to Nashville to, I guess, do the remembrance or to honor the fallen soldiers who have passed. And I know that's got to be tough to have to deal with those kinds of things, but we're so grateful, for you guys, and our prayers and thoughts are with those families who have lost officers. But talk a little bit about how you deal with that.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult, Booney. I lost two friends in 2001 in a car wreck, responding to a domestic call. Lost another officer that was struck by a vehicle. As a colleague, law enforcement patrol officer, but I'll tell you, as a sheriff, losing Sergeant Steve Hinkle back in 2019,
Yeah.
probably one of the most difficult things I had to deal with. Not only providing that support and being there for their family, but also trying to be strong for the law enforcement officers that worked that evening, that day, and had to deal with a lot of trauma. It affects your mental health, and we want to make sure these individuals are fit for duty, and they've got all the support they need. We call in a critical incident stress debrief team to talk with these individuals, talk with their families, and we want to make sure that they've got all the resources and we provide all the support they can have to be able to do their job. But we just, that's one thing we want to make sure that those families are extremely taken care of, and just knowing that officer is never, nor will they ever be forgotten.
Absolutely. Again, we can't say how thankful we are for you guys and for all that you do. As you know, we have our own real estate team here, and we're the Crawford Property Group, and a lot of people are moving here from out of state, and a lot of people from California, New York, from everywhere, Florida.
Yeah, 47 states. I think I saw somewhere on I get a lot of stuff from the Kingsport Chamber and stuff, and
Right.
they said 47 states. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that can be good and it can be bad, but we're hoping we're getting all the good ones coming in here.
Yeah, that's for sure, Boone.
Yeah, but there's we always have just about everybody that we talk to are looking at particular areas to move to, and Northeast Tennessee is a very popular destination for these people to move to, and obviously the one of the things they want to know is what's the crime rate in these areas that they're coming to. So if you could say something to potential clients moving here from California or New York or wherever they may be coming from, what would you tell them about the safety of the area?
That's a good question, Booney. And we live in a great area, like I was talking about earlier. But we've got a tremendous response to patrol. Our criminal investigations division does a tremendous job. So we have a safe area. With that being said, we are considered a high intensity drug trafficking area. And that's multiple counties and cities across the United States. But I think the one thing when you ask people, have you ever been impacted by a certain thing that's affected your family or friends or something like that, it always resorts back to drugs. And a lot of our crime revolves around drugs as well. I'd say 85% of our inmates in our jail somehow are connected to drugs by selling it, whether they're stealing stuff to get their next high. But I say all that. I don't want to try to candy coat anything, but when it comes to a safe area, yes, we are a safe area, and we do a good job on trying to rehabilitate and help these individuals find jobs and get them the rehabilitation they need when they go out, so the recidivism rates would drop. But I tell you, I love East Tennessee, and if I was ever moving anywhere, this is where I know I live here, so I sort of hold it near and dear to my heart. But I love this area, and I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I love going to the beach. I love Florida, but I'll tell you, after a week or so, I'm ready to see them mountains again.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. Our real estate team, and especially my wife Elaine, who's the broker. She brokers 4 states, and
Wow.
we're in Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, and California. And our motto is we're selling homes from Dollywood to Hollywood.
That's good. I like it.
So we were spending a lot of time in the LA area, and there was a time, and I know that this interview is about you and it's not about me, but I remember one morning I got up really, really early, and I don't know if you remember or the area, it's like an overlook over LA. It's like up on Mulholland Drive, and it's a very popular viewing place. People go up there and they just look over.
That on, yeah.
Yeah, you see that. Well, one morning I got up very early before it was like probably 5 o'clock out there, because, I was used to East Tennessee time. So I took my camera and I went up there and I did this sermon called Angels in the City of Angels. And I just thought about the thought of, this beautiful city and all that it goes on here. But if you look down in those streets, what's really going on down there?
Right.
And then I would say, all right, now if I go back to East Tennessee, do I find the same thing? Maybe so, but maybe not on the scale that's there.
Of it, yeah.
So that's why I wanted to get your thoughts and your input on what it was like to be, for people moving here. What was the crime rate like compared to maybe what it was for where they're from? But,
right. Yeah.
But I appreciate you sharing that. And Sheriff Cassidy, one thing that we always like to do here at Fame Ministries is we want to take a moment for someone like you who's the expert in your field. And I saw a news thing last night that said that your office was pretty much full. You're not really hiring anybody right now. But if you could offer some type of encouragement to people out there who want to do what you do, who want to go into law enforcement, what encouragement would you give them, and what direction would you tell them, or what steps to take to achieve the goal of becoming a law enforcement officer?
Yeah, I tell everybody sits in front of my desk when I'm interviewing, Booney, you know, like I said earlier, what you see across the country, you're not seeing here in East Tennessee. It's a great job. It's the best. I can't even call it a job. You know, when you wake up every morning, love doing what you do. It's not a job. It's a calling. And these men and women that want to do this job, don't watch the news, don't watch social media. You're getting the wrong criticism and scrutiny across the country on law enforcement, because we're not seeing it here in East Tennessee. Just be dependable, do a good job, and keep a great attitude. You know, a good definition I heard about humility is, you know, it's not so much thinking of yourself less, it's thinking less of yourself. And I think humility goes a long way with me as well. But, you know, you do those three things in this line of work. Look at me. I mean, I was just a corrections officer in 1996, and I'm now sheriff of Sullivan County. So, you know, just do those three things: compassionate, and just show people that you care and treat people fair. And this job's a great job to be in, but you got to get in it for the right reasons. You know, Booney, you know, you see bad things happening with officers across the country. That didn't necessarily happen right when they put a badge on. They've had some bad in them a long time before that, you know. So you're going to have some bad apples out there, but don't let one person that's done something bad across the country black the eye of law enforcement, because there are men and women out here that's, you know, 400 million calls a year, police and citizen interactions a year, and you know, you have one bad one. It's not too bad in statistics, you know.
Yeah. Well, Sheriff Jeff Cassidy, we love you. And
love you, brother.
We appreciate all that you do, and the officers you have working around you, and also all those all across the country. We're grateful and thankful, and appreciate you.
Thank you, Booney. I appreciate you, brother. Love you, my man.
All right. Thank you so much for being with me, and tell your family we said hello, and we love them and appreciate them. And you take care of yourself, and if there's anything that we can do, or you know, people want to do something to help the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, what would they need to do? How could they contact, and how can they reach out and help?
If they ever want to help, you know, like I say, we have a nonprofit that we keep a bank account on for Toys from Cops, Trunk or Treat, all our community interactions, community immersion projects that we have. You know, they can donate to that. It's Friends of the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. They can call my secretary, Carolyn Crabtree, at 279-6064, and we'll get you all the information you need. And that's always helps us. You know, it's hard as a nonprofit to be able to help out 1,000 kids that are disadvantaged, but we make it happen. This is a great community, and that's another reason why I love it. They support us so much. We couldn't do what we do without them.
Well, we'll try to get that information on in the links and the descriptions and things like that, so that they can reach out and help the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. So, Sheriff Jeff Cassidy, thank you again so much. I love you, love your family, and we're praying for you, brother. And let us know if you need anything at all from us.
Thanks a lot, Booney. We love you guys and praying for you, and God bless you, my friend.
All right. Thanks so much. Take care, my friend.
You too. See you, Booney.